Is the government to blame for the problems of the youth in Africa?
I think you will not blame a child for its failures, because if you had raised the child well on a large scale, it would turn out well. Of course, there are situations when children have refused to be raised well and have been influenced by the societies. But the point is, if government largely have a role to play, their policies, the culture and the environment, the leadership in the community extends into the lifestyle of the people. So when there's leadership at the governance level, the leadership in the faith community, the leadership in the community as a whole, it extends to the people. But when there's lawlessness, when there's greed, when there's corruption, it trickles down. The young people have no values. The value system in our community has dropped down. The family system has been broken down. So there's no checks and balances. When we were growing up, it takes a village to raise a child. Now, no, it takes Facebook and Instagram to raise a child.
You are right. What is your new vision, or your vision of New Africa?
I have a single vision for Africa at the moment. A prosperous and sustainable continent. I want to see Africa prosperous. We have so much resources. We have bitumen, we have gold, we have iron ore, we have so many natural resources. From the coast of Sierra Leone to Cameroon to Nigeria to Bakassi to Uganda to Kenya to South Africa to Gambia to Zimbabwe. There are lands, arable lands for agriculture. There is anything you need in the world is in the grounds and the soil of Africa. And you know what? We have the population and we have the manpower to be able to make this become profitable. What we do not have and what we have lacked is a leadership, passionate, futuristic, oriented, and nationalist leadership. Let me tell you, the same political class who took over post-independence are largely still in control in Africa. From Zimbabwe's Mugabe to Uganda's Museveni, and of course, Nigeria's Muhammadu Buhari, who had been head of state in the 90s. He's a great guy, but this is the same generation that has continued to stay in Africa till today. Now, Africa has changed. The world has become a global village. There is globalization. The borders are breaking down. The barriers are shattered. Things are different. But many of these guys are still in 1960. They're still in the green, round phone generation. They don't understand the dynamics of digital technology, innovation, and 21st century world that we live in. And so the challenge is we're not able to enter into the new generation because we're still being led by the old guard. Whereas we have some countries that are bringing new rising stars, like Kenya, like Uganda, Rwanda, in particular Rwanda, who are rising stars, and they're showing us things that can happen. Of course, things can be done more than that. But that generation will continue to be blackmailed by the West. IMF, World Bank policies will continue to. But we need a generation who can set a new path for Africa, who can chart a new course for our continent, and who can ensure that we can link our natural resources with our fertile resources and put the two together and produce fruitfulness, prosperity, and make them sustainable.
Amazing. Despite resources, the resources we have, and despite a lot of opportunities that are given to us, you still realize that there are a lot of African youths in different African countries, they don't have the voice to come out. Few of us, like you, and so many other examples that we can cite here. You have a lot of young people today. You've attended a lot of UN summit and assemblies whereby youth parliamentary, whereby you get to see a lot of young Africans from different African countries standing out and voicing out their passion towards the development of youth. What is your advice to the African youth in general?
I think there needs to be more synergy. You are doing something great in your country and across Africa. I'm doing something great. For example, I'm also doing a lot of work in areas of violence against children in Lagos State. And you're doing something about violence against families and children across Africa. How can we synergize? And, we must become a candle. So when I bring my candle and bring your candle, and we light each other and we light other candles, the world will become a better place. So there needs to be synergy, nothing substitute teamwork and partnership. And so, like I said, the walls are shattering, the borders are breaking. You know, there is globalization, we're in the new age, so we're so interconnected. And so if we can interconnect our ideas, our project, our programs, we would have been able to do our own part in our countries and make Africa a better place.
Together we can.
Together we can, together we must, and together we will.
Thank you so much, Temi Dayo Isreal.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure having you and to be part of the most influential and of course inspirational leaders in Africa. I would say voice of the youth, because today, like I said earlier, we cannot bring African youths on one platform, but we can create a platform whereby we can connect and exchange ideas. You have traveled wide, you have had experience since at a very early age, and your opinions on this violence matters a lot. On that note, I would love to have your signature.
Absolutely.
To stand against this say no to violence.
Absolutely. Thank you. Where do I sign? Front or back?
At the back.
At the back. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's an honor having you on board.
It was great being on here with you. And thank you so much for the great work you're doing. And I'm very grateful to your team for the great work that they're doing as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.